Welcome to another episode of the Coach's Corner here at Francis Marion University. And today I'm joined by men's soccer coach John Campbell. John, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
It's approaching Christmas now, and you've had some time to look back on the 2012 soccer season here at FMU. Can you give us a brief summary or your feelings on this past year at FMU?
Yeah, it went, I think, similar to what I was expecting. We knew there were going to be growing pains. We had a young team. We had a big new group of guys. Obviously a different style, I think, of play with what had been done in the past. So there were a lot of changes being made. We made good strides, I think, from the beginning of the season through preseason. Towards the end when we started playing better and everyone started understanding the style, what we needed to do and things like that. So it went about as to what I was expecting. I was hoping for a few more wins, and I think it was little things that kept us from that. But I think those growing pains are going to help us in the long run. So,
well, you talk about the wins. Now, granted, this was your first season. We increased our win total from the year before. And as you said, despite using a roster that I think we started 8 to 9 freshmen at different points during the season, we also cut our goals allowed total down drastically from the year before. So there were a lot of positives in that year.
Yeah, no, and I don't know some of the things that had gone on before, but the mistakes that we made were correctable mistakes and things that we're going to take care of. But there's no doubt we still gave up too many goals, way more than what we're going to give up next year. It's the little things that made the difference, and having that young a group and so many new faces in at the same time, it took an adjustment period, and you could see that, I think, for anyone that was out and watched games and saw us from the beginning to the end of the year, noticed probably a pretty big difference, I would think. Talk
a little bit about some of the kids who played key roles this past fall.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of guys step up from all over. Pascal Majera, a freshman who came in, I thought he was probably our most consistent player throughout the whole year. Came in, played in the center of midfield for us, ended up being a captain. Just a great leader on and off the field, and probably the hardest working player on the field. And I think a lot of guys were able to look at him and feed off him and say, this is a young guy, but this is a guy that's doing it the right way. And guys started following suit and understanding these were the attributes that you need to be successful. So I thought he came in and did a tremendous job. And again, with as many new guys and new faces that we had, different guys stepped up all over the place. Simon Nett was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Week for us. And one of our leaders certainly helped with bringing our goals against down, and was a big part of, again, the attitude that was brought to the program and how we need to do things. And then a lot of the young guys just started following in and accepting that this is what needs to be done. And we had leaders that didn't always see a lot of time, like Chewy, who, you know, was just a tremendous leader on and off the field, and had been here for 3 years. This was his 4th year, and or his senior year anyway. And showed a lot of composure and a lot of discipline, and let the guys know that this is how things need to be done at this level. And so there was a lot of learning going on throughout the whole process, and we had guys step up all over the place from one game to another. It was different guys, so it was good, and I think there's a lot of positives going forward with the fact that we had so many guys that were able to play different roles and step up at different points throughout the season. I think it'll bode well. We'll have a good spring season and come back with a lot more experience and ready to go, I think, for the fall. So,
well, again, first year here for you, so now you've got your system installed, and some of the kids are familiar with you. And again, we had a lot of new faces, so team chemistry and bonding and playing together was a big factor.
It was.
Now we'll have a whole year of that. What do you look to recruit and improve for next season?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. The fact that guys now are understanding the system and what we're going to want to do. When we bring in these new players, it's not going to be foreign, and we're not going to be teaching everybody the whole thing. We're bringing in a smaller group now, which will be good, and the players that are here are going to be able to instill the attributes that we're going to need and the way that we play and the style that we're playing. And it's not going to all be on myself and Craig, the coaching staff, to be able to do it with everyone. A lot of it's going to be instilled now by the players, which is going to be key, and that includes as well the culture and what we expect out of our guys and the way they carry themselves. on and off the field, how they are in the classroom, and then also how they work on the field. So that's going to take a lot of weight off of us, and now it's just going to be adding a couple key pieces that we think are going to make our team better. You know, we're looking to shore up, giving up a few less goals. We also want to be able to get a little bit more possession out of the midfield, and more goals is always nice. So we're looking to add a couple more key guys that can come in and jump in right away with the group as we continue to get better and learn from the guys that have been here now.
Well, John, thank you for joining us today and recapping your 2012 season.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me again.
That does it for this episode of the Coach's Corner. Follow Francis Marion University Athletics on the web at www.fmupatriots.com, on Twitter at PatriotHawk, and on Facebook at Francis Marion University Athletics.